Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So it's the boy who cried wolf. You know, it's probably one of my biggest issues with the whole Me Too thing. Initially, of course, I was sympathetic to the cause. You know, obviously I don't want to see people, especially vulnerable people, being taken advantage of by individuals in positions of power who are abusing that power. You know, I understand why the conversation itself is important, but the problem is when you have sensitive topics like this, when you have sensitive issues, the problem, I guess, is human nature. You know, we live in a human society. There's a whole lot of self-interested sociopaths who see a movement like that and view it as the perfect moment for them to take advantage of sensitive issues for their own benefit. We've seen it with most social movements. Black Lives Matter is a perfect example, where the media runs with the narrative and people make millions. Political parties probably generating tens upon tens of millions of dollars because of that emotional nature. And you know, that's where it starts to get frustrating, because you see the difference between something that's genuine and something that's predatory. You see a group is clearly just taking advantage, and all of a sudden you start questioning what's really going on. Well, it's the same thing with the whole Me Too thing. You know, it started off with a couple individuals, it seemed quite credible, it made sense, and now it seems like we're living through an era where the media is promoting ridiculous claims from literally anybody to destroy their political opponents. And it seems like we now have a new target. Really no surprise as to who it is. I mean, it's the person on the thumbnail. Russell Brand apparently is being targeted now with some serious allegations. And let's just say I'm highly skeptical. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. Let me show you what Russell Brand said. Then let's talk about this whole situation. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's a headline that just got released not too long ago. Russell Brand says he's about to face serious allegations. He denies them in video. Russell Brand shared an impassioned video on his YouTube channel in which he denied unspecific serious allegations on Friday. Just take a look at what Russell Brand had to say.
Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Now, this isn't the usual type of video we make on this channel where we critique, attack, and undermine the news in all its corruption, because in this story, I am the news. I've received two extremely disturbing letters, or a letter and an email, one from a mainstream media TV company, one from a newspaper, listing a litany of extremely egregious and aggressive attacks, as well as some pretty stupid stuff like my community festival should be stopped, that I shouldn't be able to attack mainstream media narratives on this channel. But amidst this litany of astonishing, rather baroque attacks are some very serious allegations that I absolutely refute. These allegations pertain to the time when I was working in the mainstream, when I was in the newspapers all the time, when I was in the movies, and as I've written about extensively in my books, I was very, very promiscuous. Now, during that time of promiscuity, the relationships I had were absolutely always consensual. I was always transparent about that then, almost too transparent. And I'm being transparent about it now as well. And to see that transparency metastasized into something criminal that I absolutely deny makes me question, is there another agenda at play? Particularly when we've seen coordinated media attacks before, like with Joe Rogan when he dared to take a medicine that the mainstream media didn't approve of. And we saw a spate of headlines from media outlets across the world using the same language. I'm aware that you guys have been saying in the comments for a while, watch out, Russell, they're coming for you, you're getting too close to the truth. Russell Brand did not. I know that a year ago there was a spate of articles. Russell Brand's a conspiracy theorist. Russell Brand's right wing. I'm aware of news media making phone calls, sending letters to people I know for ages and ages. It's been clear to me, or at least it feels to me, like there's a serious and concerted agenda to control these kind of spaces and these kind of voices. And I mean my voice along with your voice. I don't mind them using my books and my stand-up to talk about my promiscuous consensual conduct in the past. What I seriously refute are these very, very serious criminal allegations. Also, it's worth mentioning that there are witnesses whose evidence directly contradicts the narratives that these two mainstream media outlets are trying to construct, apparently in what seems to me to be a coordinated attack. Now, I don't want to get into this any further because of the serious nature of the allegations, but I feel like I'm being attacked, and plainly they are working very closely together. We are obviously going to look into this matter because it's very, very serious.
You know, there could be situations where I would instantly find these types of allegations immediately credible. This is not one of them. We don't know the specifics just yet because apparently the information hasn't dropped yet, and Russell Brand is obviously trying to get ahead of the thing. But I am immediately skeptical just because it's Russell Brand. And of course, the timing. You know, most likely Russell Brand is going to be targeted with an accusation or an allegation from like 15 years ago. That's probably what's going to happen. And the question is, why now all of a sudden? You know, the probability doesn't exactly make sense to me. You know, a lot of these allegations that tend to surface targeting this type of character tend to happen at very convenient times. You know, Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh is a perfect example. Right when it was pretty much dead set that he was going to be the guy nominated to that justice seat, all of a sudden there's an allegation that pops out of nowhere. Now we have Russell Brand, an allegation, by the way, with no real credible evidence or witness testimony to back up the claims, and now it's Russell Brand being targeted with an accusation. Not too long ago, it was Tucker Carlson, who allegedly was this evil misogynist who was harassing his female producers. Give me a break. I mean, come on, seriously. Statistically, it makes no sense that all of these allegations always target the media's number one enemy. You know, people who are having real conversations and challenging, let's say, the general mainstream narrative on very important, sensitive topics. People who are generating millions of views doing so. It's always those guys who end up getting targeted by these allegations during the most convenient of times. Make it make sense, please, because obviously it doesn't. It's always the guy who ends up getting in their way. You know, right off the bat, I'm thinking about three people who have really been a thorn in the side of major media outlets and their lobbyist partners, let's call them. Three names that come to mind are Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, and Russell Brand. Of course, there's some others. Maybe add Joe Rogan to the list, but, you know, not really. He tends to stay out of politics. Let's stick to Russell Brand, Donald Trump, and Tucker Carlson. All of those three guys have one thing in common. The mainstream media hates them. They're like the final boss counsel of the MSM. All three of those guys have been targeted with multiple accusations, and we're to believe that 3 of 3 are all manipulative predators abusing people. I just can't buy it. You know, these type of predators are a clear extreme minority in society. Any type of criminal element tends to be present in a small percentage of the population, but you mean to tell me that all 3 of these guys all fit that bill? I mean, give me a break. The reality is, anybody who challenges major corporations, major media, well, ends up getting targeted by some sort of sociopath. It's hard to say exactly how it works, but obviously somebody who's self-interested, somebody who's playing a partisan game, somebody with no real moral compass, who might have had some sort of weak connection to this person in the past, well, that individual will come forward with totally made up, fabricated claims, and then the media's gonna run with it for months and months, and sometimes years. I mean, in the case of Donald Trump, it was years of E. Jean Carroll and Stormy Daniels and this person and that person. Not an iota of evidence ever presented, by the way. Just a lot of self-interested people writing books, making themselves media darlings, taking on that evil Trump, or exposing Tucker Carlson and who he really is, or now exposing Russell Brand. I am immediately skeptical as to the validity or credibility of any allegation targeting any anti-establishment figure. Now, that's not to say that the allegations that are possibly going to drop here any day now aren't credible. It's just to say what I said. I'm extremely skeptical, and it seems like it's yet again another play directly out of the media playbook. That's my initial reaction. It seems like Russell Brand is most likely shooting above the target, and of course, that can't be allowed to stand. Now, can it? That's what I got for you guys on this one. I'll update you guys on anything new that hits. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.